has.
You didn't know?
You can say we are the in crowd.
Acknowledge us.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Stadium Rant proudly presents to you the most electrifying wrestling show in the world. We are your hosts, the Big Show Shakin' Big, the Nard Dog Bernard Green, and the Professor Nicholas Mullick. We are the Ringside Boys. This is Ringside Rant, ladies and gentlemen. Got a little bit to talk about, a little bit of AEW, a little bit of TNA news. We're going to sprinkle over the top of this delicious dish known as Ringside Rant. The Raw on Netflix kickoff show happened about 3 weeks early because why the fuck not? And we got a lot of other things to talk about. There's unfortunate news in WWE. Don't worry, Chad. It's not Nia Jax again. It is, unfortunately, Vince McMahon. Is it Vince McMahon this time?
No, it's a different employee.
Sorry, different employee. I point the finger incorrectly. Anyway, we'll get into that. We'll get into a lot of stuff. It's an interesting week coming up. It's a little bit of a lull time in professional wrestling because nowadays wrestlers get time off. Indie scene different, but professional scenes get a little bit of time off for the holidays, which is great for the wrestlers. But before we get into any of that, gentlemen, how we doing?
I'm glad this week is winding down. It's been a long week.
Yeah,
Amen.
it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy day for me. You weren't on our YouTube channel. I just did a recording on there, debating with shout out to Wing. He invited me on the show. Clinton, Cameron, they were awesome. But yeah, today's been a weird show. I guess if we want to start on this, I'll start on. Yes, there's been another misconduct allegation in WWE.
We're not starting the show yet. Hold on. BG, you said you're glad the week's winding down, but how you doing, buddy? I need to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip Bernard.
No, it's okay.
As punishment, I'll add a 0 to the next bid for your painting, if that will make sense.
Well,
so now we're up to 4,000. We're up to
No.
4,000.
I was already at a penny. I was already at 8 links.
Nah.
All right, so now we're at 10 cents. Okay.
No. Now I'm at $10. I'll throw an Alexander Hamilton into Abe Links somewhere.
Well, first of all, okay. One, my week so far, I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad the week is winding down. Busy at work and all, back and forth. Two, again, my fiance says it's not for sale, and by the way, JC bid $500. It's $500 per piece.
Yeah, you missed that on Saturday night.
So that's 2K.
No, that's 1K.
It's 500 per piece. I thought it was 4 panels.
No, there's 2.
Oh,
Plus, I got another one right here, but that definitely ain't getting for sale. But
so we're at 1,000 now. Okay.
Yeah,
Keep in mind for the bidding process, we got to calculate shipping, so we're still in the accountant process.
So my 27 cents doesn't stand anymore. Got it. Okay.
No. That's just how much it is. The shipping and handling is another $500.
And the and the signing, because we got to get you to sign it so that we could actually auction it off.
This painting has taken on a life of its own. This is insane.
Dude, we could legit build like a wrestling type of storyline with this and make it long-term booking.
Well, let's pitch it to not Kevin Dunn, but let's pitch it to somebody.
Yeah, but other than that, we're pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. How about you, Nicholas?
Good. It's been good, but hey, guys, there's been another sexual misconduct allegation in WWE.
Wow. When is
What?
going to end?
What?
Never, probably.
I said, when is this going to end?
Here's the thing. Here's the different thing about this. Apparently, this happened in ESPN. WWE knew about these allegations, and yet they still continued to hire him.
And
Oh my
yet you're
God.
surprised that Sexy
Hello?
Red shows up on NXT. Like, this is the shit I'm talking about, right? Like, you're like, how do you allow that? Well, they fucking hired a creative guy who was creepy at ESPN. Why do you think Sexy Red doing a little blow is going to bother him? It's not.
Yeah, apparently I got some of the stuff that I pulled out from the Athletic report because I read a little bit of it. This guy, Lee Fitting, who, by the way, WWE needs to get rid of him now because with all the allegations with Vince and everything, you'd be idiots to keep this guy around.
Like, this was almost immediate.
Yes, this is crazy. Apparently, Fitting was accused of making comments objectifying women, criticizing their physical appearance, making crude jokes. Some of those jokes were kind of sexual in nature in the workplace. And apparently an employee, an ESPN employee, this is insane. Fitter responded like with her request to meet regarding like career advancement or opportunities. You want to know what he asks? If he should get a hotel room for the night. Yeah. Not great.
So what you're trying to tell me is, in summation, this guy would walk in the office and say, "Hey, Toots, I'd like my workplace a lot better if you were sexier. And if you want a promotion, we can talk about it in my hotel room. And if you don't sleep with me, you ain't getting it."
Yeah, pretty much. And
all right, the guy's a scumbag.
Here's what else happened too. ESPN fired him for it. Nobody knows why he was fired. WWE brought him to the company. And you mean to tell me you didn't know what was going on? I get ESPN is an incompetent mess right now, but like with the type of history this company has been going through the past few years with harassment, with Laurinaitis and Vince, and again, get your lawyers ready. You decide to hire someone like him back when this story has probably been known behind the scenes and not publicly? Like, are you out of your mind? Oh my God. I can't even believe they would do that. I can't even believe it.
And it was goes to that point of when the Vince McMahon documentary came out, and people like wrestling fans knew about the allegations and stuff like that. But for people not in the to discuss. Yeah, we talk about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after that all came out, people started to realize, holy shit, because it became very available to the average viewer to just click on that and watch it. So it became very apparent. And for you to, I mean, I guess the documentary came out after you hired this guy, but you definitely knew it was going on. And I agree. Like, that's kind of fucking crazy to put yourself in that kind of crosshair.
Yeah, here's the worst part, too. The Janelle Grant lawsuit just got resumed. They're going to use this type of stuff to support her. They're going to use this type of stuff that's now being reported, and people are saying these are allegations. They're going to use that. They're going to use that in the court case. And WWE's PR team is going to be hit bad. It's not going to make them look good at all. And people are saying, oh, but it's with Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. WWE's going to get involved in that lawsuit because their name's attached to it. I don't understand the level of stupidity that this company is doing behind the scenes. I don't know how these people sleep at night. I don't know. And with Vince, they were all in on it. And everybody knew about it. For years, they know about it.
Yeah, BG, what do you got?
And it's a lot to digest with this situation with WWE and Vince and and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, it's stupid. It's like whatever Triple H trying to do to make the company better and to block out the noise, block out this type of noise and all. For some reason, stuff like this always happen to come back into the fold with the WWE and Triple H though. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I mean, I didn't say what I had to say a couple of shows ago here on this podcast. I just pray for WWE at this moment. They need to whatever ties or whatever things going on that Vince McMahon possibly have in WWE. They need to go ahead and let it go complete because, like you said, Nicholas, this gonna drag them right back into the company, and their stock is gonna go down because of this. Now, I don't know. I haven't put any stock in WWE yet. I haven't Bitcoin last week, but if I was an investor, if I was in the in the stockbroker business like this, I would still stay back from WWE until all this is over with. So I hope things clear up and hope things gets back to normal with WWE so that way we could enjoy the entertainment and the stuff that they love to do, love to perform in front of the crowd and TV, and hopefully this will get behind us real soon.
Yeah, and you want to know why I had a problem with that Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan stuff when they broke up from Rhea Ripley. I got heat from that. I really did got heat from that, but it's stuff like this and all the other stuff beyond the ring that's going to put this company in a bad light. And with the Janelle Grant stuff, I don't understand why this is allowed still.
It's tough. And this is kind of the thing I talked about when we were first talking about the Vince documentary. I thought it was time to come clean, admit the messed up stuff that happened in the past, be like, yep, that happened, and go be better and do better in the future. That was really your moment to take over and hop into this new era when we're going to Netflix and things are changing and the company is expanding and things are supposed to be getting better. If stuff like this continues to keep happening and it doesn't seem like there's a cap on it, we don't have control over it fucking clearly. It's just like, how is this company supposed to continue to grow? Of course, you have diehard fans. You're always going to have it. But eventually, you're going to start to lose people, and you're not going to be hitting all these milestones and all these gate records and all these things like that. That's going to run out. People are going to get sick of the bullshit. And I'm an optimist, right? And that's a blessing and a curse. That was their opportunity to be like, Vince was an asshole. Thank you for bringing us this platform we have, but that was unacceptable. The things you did, XYZ, we're denouncing XYZ. We're moving better in the future. And then this Lee Fitting hiring comes in. And it's like, it's just every time you think we're taking a step forward, we take, it seems, 2 or 3 steps back. It's just not. It's not a great spot behind the scenes right now. In the ring, it's great at the moment. Maybe not great, but it's going really well. It's the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, and it's just this whole thing angers me. It really does. And I want WWE to be better. When stuff like this and stupidity like this keeps going on, you can't.
Yeah.
There's a point where you can't defend them anymore. And
Yeah,
let's move on. Let's you can continue after you speak. I want to move on from this because this really angers me, and I do not want to get ourselves canceled here.
Yeah,
BG, go before this goes Krakatoa and fucking.
Yeah, all I need is 20 seconds. Maybe at 10. I just concerned about the women of WWE, the women superstars. It's like I want to know like how they feel about it. And they say let's move on and all stuff, but I want to know deep down mentally and emotionally how do they feel about this. And then all the WWE women, SmackDown, NXT, Raw, if you're looking at this, I just keep your heads up. And just keep your head down and just work and just do what y'all love to do, which is perform in that ring.
I just looked at the comments. Shout out to JC. You always put a smile on my face. A show within a show. Days of Our Lives WWE edition. I needed that.
Soap opera.
That's why I named last episode as the Superstars Turn.
Here, I'm showing that. I'm showing that comment.
Yeah.
This is great. This gets some airtime here. Well done, JC.
It's crazy we have to deal with it, but I think that's enough of the bad news for WWE. I think we can give some bad news to some other companies, and as our lead on outside companies, the most studied man on the show outside of WWE, Professor, talk to us. What's going on outside of our little world here?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip a coin right here off screen to see what we'll talk about. Okay, let's talk about, TNA a little bit. So, they decided to bring back Tessa Blanchard this week. Stunningly. And you guys know about her history, right? I basically shown it out to you, how she was toxic in the workplace, going after everybody. She said racial comments. She even spit on an African-American pro wrestler and called her the N-word. Some disgusting stuff that's happened under Tessa Blanchard. And the way she left TNA, too, is crazy as well. During the pandemic, she was asked to film promos of herself because she was the champion. Not the women's knockouts champion, the world heavyweight champion, the men's championship. Oh, God. And then when Tessa was recording the videos, well, she was supposed to. She refused to do it. And then she got fired. She didn't resign or anything. She was fired for that, not because of all the toxic workplace stuff. Now, you think that with TNA knowing her history and her doing the same thing in Mexico and Women's of Wrestling, and we'll get to that later, you think that it would be a good idea for them to stay away from her? I mean, after all, AEW and WWE wanted nothing to do with her. Nope. They decide to bring her back. I don't know why. This woman she's so toxic that lemon candy is sweet. You know what I mean? That's how toxic this woman is. And they decide to bring her back. And the worst part is, and this is the craziest part, they had her return from the locker room where she was once toxic. What? This is why TNA is incompetent.
Wow. So we talk about the decline of TNA, and it's been an ongoing background story for the Ringside Boys, right? It's something we've touched about, maybe not every week, but definitely maybe bi-weekly, if not monthly. We've talked about TNA's decline, and it seems like there's more people leaving. And it seems to make sense in the desperation standpoint, right? They clearly have nowhere else to go. So they're like, hey, what are you gonna do? You did some bad stuff. Maybe you say sorry and come back. I don't even know if they made her say sorry. I really don't know.
I doubt they did. It took her way too long to apologize to some of the people she's harassed. And the funny thing is, this all started because of one tweet she made after winning the championship, where she's like, "Oh, you should support women." Everybody came out of the woodworks to go after her. And these aren't just low-named people. Chelsea Green talked about her. Gigi Dolan talked about her. Isla Dawn of Unholy Trinity talked about her. These are, it's people from the top, people from the bottom, and people down below. She's treated people like garbage for years. Yeah, let's bring her back.
Yeah, TNA is clearly going out. And this is not something we wrote down, but it's a tweet I saw. TNA is shutting down the X division as well. So I think they have a fire sale going on in TNA at the moment.
Yeah, and they should have never fired Scott D'Amore when they fired him years ago. He was the heart and soul when Impact was growing in popularity. And guess what the worst part is, too? Everyone's leaving now. Jordan Grayson is absolutely a goner. She's WWE bound by the Royal Rumble. Josh Alexander's going to leave. Trent Seven's going to leave. Kushida's going to leave. We already lost.
Kushida.
Speedball Mike Bailey is gone. Rhino is leaving the company. Jade Chung, their interviewer / ring announcer, is gone. Giselle Shaw is already gone. Everybody's leaving. I mean, I don't blame them one bit. I mean, would it shock you if WWE eventually buys TNA? I agree, nope. JC. When they fired Scott D'Amore, that was I wouldn't say the beginning of the end, because TNA was kind of at the end years ago. Their peak was in 2010. But firing Scott D'Amore was really a bad sign. And I don't know where TNA goes from here. They've ruined their reputation many times over. They almost had a resurgence when Matt Hardy was broken, and they ruined all that. And now they think Tessa Blanchard's going to help them out. She barely lasted 6 months in Women's of Wrestling. And she was the coach and trainer there. Think about that. She had a top role in training the women in Women's of Wrestling promotion. and she couldn't last 6 months. Now, I will say, people can change. I believe in the world of second chances. However, this woman's had multiple chances. She hasn't learned her lesson one bit. And yes, in her tenure in Mexico, I didn't hear anything too bad, but I just don't understand. And the fact that you got people like Moose out there, and I love Moose, the pro wrestler, defending her, trying to have her to come back. Like, come on, man. Ridiculous. And I'm sorry I'm taking too much time. I've had too much water that I'm drinking right over here, and I'm angry with this bit of news this week. I can't believe they brought this woman back.
He's hyper hydrated and fired up. Bernard, you got anything on this one, pal?
Man, I mean, basically, I don't know what to say, man. Like again, this, I don't know what's worse, her or Nia Jax make that inappropriate comment.
Her.
I say either way, if that was a man say something like that and it was gone, like I'm gonna use a McMahon quote, you got no chance in hell to come back. None. I mean, yeah, you can kiss that goodbye.
JC, I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink alcohol.
I mean,
I'm a teetotaler. I'm gonna show this comment. I'm sorry. I am a teetotaler, dude. I don't drink. I really don't. So sorry. You failed there. I drink a lot of water and orange juice.
Listen, the first PLE we go to, I'm getting the professor drunk. It's fine.
That's not happening, dude.
No.
Come on, let him fuck. In New York City, we go out, we have a good time. I'll take care of him. Nothing bad will happen. It'll be fine. Jake's got your back, buddy. Don't worry about it.
How about we'll plan it out one day. And Bernard better give me that painting too.
Yeah, if the professor's getting drunk with us, the painting has to be included.
The painting has to come.
Record everything. Hey, we ain't trying to get kicked off the network. I ain't recording everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nicholas will be fine. Shake likes to have fun. That's all I'll say. Anyway, there's more TNA departures. Professor, you got anything else on that?
Those I already mentioned the names that were on there, but TNA is in a really, really bad spot right now. And bringing back Tessa Blanchard shows me one thing: A, that they're stupid, and B, they're desperate. They are desperate because they're losing a ton of talent. They think there's anything for a reason. JC, you're grinding my gears, mister. The point is, TNA is desperate, and that's the only reason why they're bringing back Tessa Blanchard. And by the way, I give it 6 months,
if that. There's also a little bit of AEW news. You want to touch on that as well?
Yeah. So AEW, this happened a few weeks ago. Ray Phoenix, who clearly wants out and is still under contract because they extended his contract. He tweeted out that like he received inhumane treatment and it had something to deal with like his injury. Many people forget when he had like a really brutal elbow injury. I think in a ladder match, like his elbow was the other way. It's one of the worst injuries I've seen. It's like Psycho Sid and Hayabusa level of bad injuries that I've seen ever. And obviously, Ray Phoenix wanted to put this out on social media. He deleted it afterwards. And if what he's saying is true, that's awful. And I hope AEW, can fix it. But I will say, it's clear he wants out of AEW. I mean, his brother Pentagon, he's coming to TNA or Raw, wherever they're going to debut. He's WWE bound. You guys know the promos with the 0 and the slash on it?
Yeah.
I've been showing. Pentagon used that previously. That's a Pentagon thing. So I think he's WWE bound for sure. And what they'll probably do is they'll use Pentagon as a singles. Ray Phoenix will come along, and then they'll have the tag team and have the Lucha Bros there. Oh my God, Shake, you're killing me with this.
I'm trying to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have my own opinions about Tony Khan. You're a Tony Khan fan. I think Tony Khan's a clown show.
No,
Okay?
he's not.
Difference of opinion. That's fine. But I mean, like, I don't know. It's like they did get to deal with Max, right? That's huge for visibility factor. It's now easily accessible. You don't want to pay for cable, fine. It's on HBO Max. You can watch every AEW show now. That's big. It's kind of similar to what WWE is trying to do with Netflix. Max is not Netflix. I understand that, but it's still something a lot of people have, and it's a lot more accessible now. And like I could see on a random Wednesday night or a Saturday or a Sunday, you're bored, there's nothing else on. You're like, okay, I'll watch AEW, and maybe you get really invested into a product because there's clearly a couple of wrestlers on there you do enjoy. But yeah, I mean, do you blame certain people for wanting to jump ship to WWE?
No.
Because let's be honest, WWE, this is not a comment against AEW, but WWE is at a much different level than AEW is. Like from a generational standpoint alone, you have 50 plus years of fans for WWE that have just been kids, their dads watching with their kids forever. AEW is in that chance right now, right? So now you have like the mid 20s, early teens, or late teens kind of people that are into this show, and that is your chance to do that. And if you keep letting these talents go, it's not going to be good for you long term. You do still have that benefit of Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, MJF. You still have top talents, but that mid card is important as well.
By the way, did you speak of Darby Allin? Did you see that bump he took on Dynamite yesterday?
That's why I mentioned both of them. That match was incredible.
Like that dude is not only one of the legit tough guys ever, but I fear he may be in a wheelchair at the age of 35 with the
He's
bumps.
kind of the Jeff Hardy breed of superstar.
He is. He is. Man, I really worry for that guy he must have a ton of, I don't even know how the hell he's going to climb Mount Everest, because he's going to do that one day. But
so he says.
Yeah, so he says. But I do want to ask you something. Me and Bernard watched Saturday Night Main Event live. Did you get a chance to watch Saturday Night Main Event, Jake?
I did, yes. Okay, so for those of you, I'm gonna tell you my backstory. For those of you who didn't know, I wasn't on the watch party because I was helping do some casting and some interviews for a pretty big amateur Call of Duty tournament that happened in Philly. I was in the building doing that. But what I did was, because I wasn't casting and only doing interviews at this point in the evening, there was a TV behind us that's supposed to be just like a generic display for behind the
Oh my God.
I put Saturday Night's Main Event on that television.
You're dirty shake and bake, dude.
Only my headphones could hear it. And I was sitting there and people were trying to talk to me. I was like, what? Like, yeah, no, I was locked in it. Listen, Santi tweeted it. He's like, so now in this history of WWE, we're all spoiled rotten because if there's not a bunch of championship changes or surprise returns, we're disappointed. And I got it. It was a fun show. None of the matches underperformed. They were all good. There wasn't as many surprises as they kind of maybe said there was. They did some right, but it was like, I don't know. It was an ultimately pretty predictable show. The matches were fun. I enjoyed it, but I get why some fans might have been annoyed. But I like what Santi said. Maybe we're a little spoiled in the Triple H era.
Yeah, there's two things I want to mention that, first off, Jesse Ventura was great, except for the one botch. I mentioned it where he's like, I've never been in WWE for the past 40 years. First off, that's not true. You were in WWE in like 2010 as one of the special guest hosts in Raw. So that's, and I love Jesse Ventura, but that's the big botch. Number one, I mean, I loved the show originally. We gave it 9s, but going back and realizing the ending that was filmed where Triple H and Kevin Owens, like pile-driven Cody, and Triple H was pushing Kevin Owens and all this, that would have been a much better ending than what we got. And I get why they cut it off because they didn't have enough time. But like that should have been the ending, because the ending of the Kevin Owens and Cody match, it felt a little rushed. I will say, I love the fact that Jesse Ventura was like, yeah, but Cody ain't a good guy either. He just cheated as well. Like that's my Jesse Ventura.
Crossroads on the chair, technically illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the two things I want to mention. I thought this was a really good show. Thank God I got to hear Obsession play again throughout the entire show. That was awesome. The Winged Eagle belt was great, and it looks like Kevin Owens is going to use that Winged Eagle belt for the next few months now in this feud with Cody, because it's not a one and done feud. They're going to continue this feud. So yeah, but I don't care what anyone says. I still think Kevin Owens should have won the match. That's just me, but I'm fine with
No, it's not. A lot of people felt that way. Bernard, what do you think of Saturday night's main event? I know you guys spent a couple hours live reacting, but just a little brief overview.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All the matches had like I said, I give it 9.5 overall. Like I said, I agree with Nicholas. I didn't like the ending too much, and KO is like they're gonna sell like they're gonna use KO to become this champion. To I guess they say you're gonna use it for live events too. We're gonna defend it at live events as well. I guess till Cody gets back. I believe that belt is gonna go on that belt's gonna go for I think maybe 600-700 easy on WWE Shop. Because that's one of the which was kind of gonna break my pockets. I don't know if I think I might buy it, I might not. I don't know.
Hey, dude, sell the painting. Sell the painting.
Hell no.
$500 right there.
What?
Hey, listen, Mrs. Green, I know you love the painting, but the Winged Eagle, you imagine that mounted on the wall, you know what I'm saying?
Nah. But overall, though, I like the match. I just hope Cody is okay. Because he's fine.
That's a word. Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope he's okay.
Bernard,
he's even trade.
Yeah, he's taken plenty of pile drivers in AEW. This is nothing for him. So.
Oh yeah. But overall, it's a pretty good Saturday Night Live. I just can't wait for Netflix and for next week.
I'm sorry. I do wonder if there's going to be buffering issues with the first Netflix Raw.
I hope not,
there
man.
Might be.
I mean, I have because Peacock stinks, and we had issues with Saturday Night Main Event. Like I was ahead, Bernard was behind. I had to backtrack multiple times. Yet they fast forwarded me at the same time. Like I don't understand Peacock sometimes, but it'll be interesting to see what Netflix will look like with Raw. But is it me or is it a little weird that they did the conference 3 weeks previously?
I thought it was a little weird. It was so early. Like, obviously, you want to do it ahead of time to build up hype and everything like that. But maybe because they just wanted to get it done all before the holiday, and they know they would have had a couple of days afterwards. That could be the only explanation. I think it's just weird timing, but I don't know. It was fun. The kickoff show. It is what it is every time. It's generic smack talk. It's fun, little gas. I liked how they did it at the WWE headquarters. You could really hear the fans. I liked how some of the superstars reacted to the fans and allowed them to become part of the show. And, that's always something they try to do, but it's when you're in a big arena, there's so many voices. But in that location, I think Rhea Ripley did a phenomenal job of inciting that she's a bum chant for Liv Morgan and things like that. It was really cool.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway, though, is that Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan are going to face for the first time, on that show, which I think that's telling that Rhea is going to win that belt there. I thought she was going to win the Royal Rumble, and if she wins the belt, there goes my prediction of Rhea Ripley winning the Royal Rumble. That's what happens when you rush WWE. But I think that's where she's going to take the belt off, because that first show is going to be
Absolutely.
tremendous. And I think that
Yes.
Rhea should take that belt off of there. And I got to mention another
Yes.
thing too, and then we'll continue with it. Hated what they did with having Raquel lose in the first round of the Intercontinental title and having Zoe Starks, who's terrible, go. I mean, they tried with attaching her to Lita and Trish Stratus, and she failed to get over, and she was not good in that. I don't see what they see in her. That was terrible. But I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic here. Continue.
Oh no, we on topic. We talking about the Netflix and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Raquel and all. But it's going to be a huge event. Which I said, I think all three of us with JC Kurt, we have to probably see. We trying to get a little meeting started. See if we're going to do a live reaction and a live
For
watch
that
party.
one, I would do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do that. But the one I'm looking for, there's two matches. Well, all of them are good, but there's two matches that I'm looking forward to see. CM Punk and Seth Rollins,
Yes.
Roman Reigns, and Solo Sikoa. And Shake Bake, let me start off with, if you don't mind, let me start off with the Seth Rollins and CM Punk. This is beyond personal, man. This is really beyond personal, especially with Seth Rollins. Now, I don't know if you guys, y'all here. Seth Rollins feels some type of way with CM Punk because CM Punk, when he left, I guess they were friends at the time. Seth feels like, say, CM Punk ghosted him. And whenever he get the opportunity, he talks shit about WWE and with every chance he get, which is true. CM Punk, he shouldn't have done that. But then you gotta look at it on this way too. CM Punk has a reason, to leave, and all just CM Punk. And the probably reason why he shit talks the company is because the person who ran the company that time, they ran it to the ground. So Seth, I feel like on CM Punk's part, he'd be like, okay, well, since you want to run this company to the ground, I'm gonna go ahead and help you out. Since you don't know what the hell you're doing. And it's like one of the one I think I know one of the reasons why he left has a problem with WWE is that he has a problem with part-time wrestlers coming there and getting title reigns. Like for example, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, the Undertaker, whenever big matches and big money coming around and all, you gotta look at that stuff too. So I believe that this is boiled oil. I think Seth Rollins take this way more personally, more so than CM Punk, because CM Punk hasn't feel like he hasn't done anything wrong. He feels like he had to do what he had to do 11 years ago in order to heal himself. Now I don't know if he's healed at this point. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre know him for quite some time. Maybe he is putting on the front, but I kind of agree with both sides here, both Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and also too more the story. Be careful who you look up to because this show could disappoint the hell out of you. That's all I got to say about that. What's your take on this match and this situation?
Yeah, I'll go first. First off, Punk, you're full of it for claiming that you didn't want to leave WWE. You heard him claim that on the, I think it was the Netflix thing, or like he went out there and he claimed like, oh, I didn't want to leave WWE. You're full of it, dude. Stop it. But I'm a little surprised they're doing this match this early. But I think it's gonna end in a DQ because there's no way that this is gonna be just for one match and be done. They should keep this going for
until Mania.
Until Mania. I wouldn't be shocked if this is where we get Seth Rollins to turn heel if he wants to, or
it's already happened.
Well, it kind of. I mean, I don't know. He's more of a tweener, but I don't know.
Listen, with this feud, the crowd is going to side with CM Punk.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If Seth Rollins does turn heel, they have to get rid of that theme music because the crowd,
that I partially along with
agree with. They have to get rid of his theme song. But it will be interesting to see how they book this. As for the match themselves, I'd be stunned if that finished under pinfall or submission. I think it'll be a DQ or count out. Sort of.
I don't think it'll be a clean victory or something like that either. I think JC hit it on the head. It won't be resolved until WrestleMania. And let's be honest, yes, Raw on Netflix, huge show. They're treating it like a PLE as far as, interest production, XYZ. But I truly believe this is going to continue into WrestleMania because the truth is you have Royal Rumble, maybe they're both in the Rumble and you have a stir up inside the match and have the storyline inside the match, which is a lot of what the Royals Rumble is about, besides the winner. And then you continue it to WrestleMania because you only have Elimination Chamber, which I don't picture either of them in. So maybe they take that show off, and then the Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber, you really start to see this thing take an absolute another level, because Triple H said that the road to WrestleMania begins on January 6th, as opposed to at the Royal Rumble where it typically begins. He made a point to say that. So I think this is the beginning of things to come. Instead of like waiting for the Rumble kick things off, Rollins and Punk are setting a road to WrestleMania on Monday on January 6th.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do wonder if the original plan was Bronson Reed to be in the spot against Seth Rollins and then Punk comes, but
potentially.
Probably not. But point is, I still love this feud. I can't wait for it. And hopefully, like, behind the scenes, Punk doesn't botch this up with an argument or something like that. But Punk's been
apparently they're good behind the scenes. Like, actually,
exactly.
Rollins and Punk are good.
And Punk's on his best behavior.
He's
being nice
good
to everybody. I
Rollins
do wonder.
You
think AJ Lee shows up in WWE? Because we did get an AJ Lee mention on that kickoff.
And
well,
Punk
she mentioned on the
been
Rumble.
Open to it.
Yeah. Or I got a prediction too. I think she's going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame this year.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Oh snap! What about that favor?
That.
What about that favor too?
I think they're going to push
Paul
that
Heyman,
favor.
Yeah.
I think they're going to push that favor till after WrestleMania. Probably on the next Sweet Saudi Money Staying Alive show, whenever that is next.
I heard it's going to be at Mania. I heard he's going to be competing for a World Heavyweight Championship. Supposedly.
Yeah, but take those type of reports with a grain of salt, because things can change on the cent of a dime. So, I mean, look at what happened with Kofi Mania. I mean, that changed on the cent of a dime because Kofi got over. So, I still think it's going to happen. That favor will happen on a Sweet Saudi Money Staying Alive edition of Crown Jewel or whatever the next pay-per-view is there. That's my 2 cents.
Well, you kind of teased it a little bit, so we can talk about WWE Hall of Fame nods for this year. We can kind of go, I only have a couple I think I really need to see this year, but Bernard, why don't you kick this one off? Who do you think? It doesn't have to be more than one name, but just one or, however many names you have that need to go in this year.
Okay, I know for the women's side, as far as the women, either Mickie James, Michelle McCool, or I say, either between them two, Mickie James or Michelle McCool, especially Mickie James. The way she, helped pave the way for the women of today. She's one of the trailblazers, and her work ethics and her her performance and entertainment in the ring and all is really out of this world. I think she's a 5 or 6 time women's champion. She's a multi-time TNA Knockouts champion. I don't know if they count that in the Hall of Fame, but other than that, Mickie James needs to be in there. Either between her or Michelle McCool needs to be in there. The men's is concerned, Scotty Too Hotty. I don't know why. I don't know why he popped a man, but Scotty Too Hotty needs to be in there.
I don't know if he's signed with. I think he was signed as a trainer in WWE, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if he's still there. I know he left when Vince joined up. Which, by the way, can you blame him one bit? That's a good one. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, Scotty Too Hotty. So, those are my 2 so far. And I believe that is it. That is it.
Shake, you go first. I got like a bunch.
Yeah, there's only a couple names I really think I need to see. I'll give the honorable mention first because they may hold this off for him to have a headline induction. Batista at some point will be inducted very soon. They may wait for another year for him to actually be able to headline, and I hope they do. I think this year might be headlined by John Cena with the retirement tour and everything they're trying to do for him. I wouldn't be surprised if they inducted him into the Hall of Fame and then he goes and has his last WrestleMania match. I wouldn't be surprised by that whatsoever. Obviously well-deserved. The other name and the only other one I need to see, anybody else, I'll be like, oh, okay, good career, whatever. It doesn't bother me that much. Bray Wyatt this year, I think, needs to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's one of the greatest creative minds in WWE history. Everybody counted him out from day one. He turned himself into Bray Wyatt, that cult leader. Vince squashed that. He turned into the Eater of the Worlds. Vince squashed that. So he turned into the Fiend. And that the Fiend is one of the most unbelievable characters in WWE history, in my opinion. Vince also squashed that. But I think with his recent passing, you didn't do it last year. You need to capitalize on the feelings you have around Bray Wyatt. Waiting longer, in my opinion, would be disrespectful. I can't. If he was alive still, I think, and ran his full career, I think we'd be talking about him in an Undertaker-esque kind of way. Maybe not at that level, but as one of those creative, one of the greatest characters in WWE history.
He should have been the one that ended the Undertaker streak.
Agreed.
They didn't induct him last year because it was too early because of his family, and they instead
Fair enough.
put IRS, Mike Rotunda, and Barry Windham in there, the Midnight Express. But is that all you had?
Yeah.
I got a few people. You guys mentioned some of them. I already mentioned it. I'll give 5. The female inductee I want is AJ Lee. I think that would be perfect. Haku. I think Haku, especially because the Tongans, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are in WWE right now, they could easily induct him into the Hall of Fame as their bloodline inductee. Haku is one of their members. Well, not by blood, but like as an honorary member. Third, I have, and this is if they still want to do a celebrity inductee, and this kind of surprised me that she isn't in there. Cyndi Lauper. I think Cyndi
Lauper's not in the Hall of Fame?
I don't think so.
Wow.
Wendy Richter is, but I don't think Cyndi Lauper is.
Wow. You think with all the celebrities that like to throw in there, she might have been one of the first. That's crazy.
Yes. If I'm mistaken and I'm wrong, then I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it was Wendy Richter who went in and not Cyndi Lauper.
That's crazy.
Another one I got on the top of my head, William Regal. I think Regal is definitely something. Psycho Sid Udy should have been inducted years ago.
Long overdue. Yeah.
That pisses me off. Another name that you probably didn't know isn't inducted. Miss Elizabeth. Macho Man is inducted, not Miss Elizabeth.
That's shocking.
It's ridiculous.
I got another woman too that should be inducted.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think she was in the WWF or WCW in time being, and she's a Japanese sensation. Akira Hokuto.
Oh,
she needs to be inducted. The Dangerous Queen. She needs to be inducted.
Yeah. 2 more names. Yep, Cyndi is not in the Hall of Fame. That's what I thought. Cyndi Lauper should be in there. 2 more names. Well, I could go down the whole list. When people think of tag teams, they think Demolition. I'm not so sure, even though Vince is gone. They probably have a better relationship with Triple H. Demolition. I don't think they're going in because they had an invitation last year. They declined. I think the Nasty Boys should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Brian Knobbs, Jerry Sags, and you got to get the piece of work known as Hulk Hogan on the show. That's one way to do it. And the last name, and I'm stunned he wasn't inducted last year, Flying Brian Pillman. The loose cannon the loose cannon's not been inducted yet. His son's already signed. His estate, which I think is owned by his kids Danny and Brittany and Linda Pillman, they could easily induct Brian Pillman into one of the greatest what if stories is Brian Pillman. I'm actually doing a Dark Side of the Ring review on Brian Pillman, part 1 and 2. So keep an eye out on that. It's all right. It's crazy. And some of the stuff he did is insanity. You're gonna love that. And since we're on the topic, let's talk a little Dark Side of the Ring, because I mentioned it last week and we didn't really have enough time to cover it. If that works for you guys.
Yeah, let's finish it up.
Yeah, so Dark Side of the Ring is confirmed to have a 6th season, which we all kind of knew was going to happen. There is also some more rumored topics that are discovered. Now, people are saying that this is confirmed topics, which is totally false, because A, the trailer hasn't been released yet, and B, remember, last year, people thought Mike Awesome and Kurt Angle were going to be on the Dark Side of the Ring, and that didn't happen. So I'm going to cover the names here that are rumored to be on Dark Side of the Ring. Let me pull out my list here. My internet is going slow here. I got it right here. Okay, here we go. Name number 1, Billy Jack Haynes. That was a guy I mentioned previously. That one's going to be a crazy one. If you know the story of how he, a few years ago, murdered his wife. True story. Yeah, Billy Jack Haynes murdered his wife, who was dealing with dementia. And it was like some sort of mercy killing. Well, shout out to Saul Monster. He said this right. He said, Billy Jack Haynes is a crazy dude. He's like, he's a couple of French fries away from being a Happy Meal. So, like, that one's going to be insane. Next one, Superstar Billy Graham. That one's crazy if it's true, because A, there is no Hulk Hogan without Superstar Billy Graham.
Right.
And if you look up that guy, how the near-death experiences he's had, the steroid abuse, he was involved in the Ring Boy scandal. Not fully involved, like he lied about certain parts about the Ring Boy scandal. And he's kind of also a little crazy as well. Next episode that is rumored, Ludwig Borga. Go look up that guy and tell me that he wouldn't be a part of Dark Side of the Ring with his political career, the insane stories, the car wrecks. That's crazy. Hell in a Cell. That's getting an episode as well. I think that's why Mick Foley was talked about as an episode itself.
Got it.
I think they're going to be covering that there. But if they're covering Hell in a Cell, got to cover the disgrace of the Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt match. You have to. Another episode, The Man They Call Vader is potentially getting an episode. You ever hear about the one time that Vader was in a match with Stan Hansen, and in the middle of the match his eyeball popped out?
Oh shit. Yeah. That kind of what happened to Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, like, and there's footage apparently of the match too. His eyeball was out, and he was like pushing his eyeball back in just to finish the match.
Jesus.
There's crazy other stories about Vader too, especially at the end of his life. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, ECW superstar, which that's a sad one with how he died. And of course they're gonna interview his piece of work ex-fiance Missy Hyatt. Next episode as well, Andrew Test Martin is allegedly getting an episode.
I remember him. Test. Yeah,
that's gonna be a depressing one. The one episode that I'm really interested the most in how they cover it, because if you know about her, it's depressing. Daphne. That one's going to be rough. I actually wrote a little bit about this on StadiumRant.com. This is rough. When Daphne, in her final days, she had mental health issues. She was going through it. She live streamed herself reading a suicide note.
Jeez.
And she had a gun in her hand. And she was like, when I go donate my brain for CTE, the next day it was announced she passed away. And everyone was reaching out trying to get her to, it's just depressing. That episode's going to be depressing. And by the way, TNA, that episode on Daphne ain't going to paint you well either. If you want to know that, I'll talk about it later. We discuss it. And those are the not confirmed episodes. Those are the rumored topics. There were also rumored topics on Dennis Coralluzzo And I mentioned this previously, Tony USA Atlas. I think that one is happening season 6, and it hasn't been announced yet because Mark Henry did blurt out and say, I filmed stuff for Tony Atlas. So it's either happening season 6 or season 7. I think season 6, but time will tell. When the trailer gets released, we'll obviously talk about it, and I'll go through the episodes again, the topics. And when the show hits, season 6 hits, we'll review the episodes one by one when they come out, if you guys want to do that.
Absolutely. We can keep a pulse on that. That's pretty much going to do it for us here. The Ringside Boys had a great night. Appreciate chat showing out like they always do. And, it was a good show. We'll catch you guys next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Every single week, and premium live events and big shows here or there. You know the deal. And as always, make sure to follow all the boys and Stadium Rant on all forms of social media. And check out stadiumrant.com for more articles on your favorite teams, players, and leagues. And as always, if you're not down with that, we got just 2 words for you. Acknowledge us.